Apologies, everyone. I had to make sure the live link was running. Sorry, Neil. Uh, we should be running live soon. So please, if you could go back to your screen and start continuing the discussion, that would be great. Apologies for this.
Okay, is that all shared? Is that okay, Pavan, to go ahead?
Yes, Neil, we just need to go full screen on the slides.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, so continuing from and the digital skills that our workforce had. We undertook an exercise very early on to set the foundation of knowing where we could start from. So on the right-hand side, you'll see some sort of results that we did from looking at our workforce, especially our tradespeople, the welders, the fabricators, etc. That we went out and looked at some very simple questions to rate them against no awareness up to expert level. And what we found actually was quite surprising. We had a great number of people that were at expert level in a number of the basic IT skills that you wanted, because obviously now people in their private lives have access to a lot of technology, even more than they do in their work life as well. And what this allowed us to do was start looking at tailored training courses for people. So not expecting everyone to be at the same level of understanding and digital skills from this point of view. So we could see who had no awareness, and we'd have to do some basic refresher courses for them, and who was an expert that could move on much quicker. Some of the other things that we did was around a digital academy. We effectively took people out of their normal business. So we took some, welders, trade unions, finance people, engineers, and we put them into this digital academy where we equipped them with the skills they needed to affect digital change. And that involved basically going through and saying, well, what is a data strategy for the business? What is the good look like, and what does other parts of the business need, but also getting them outside of the business. So we go and visit a Siemens factory or AMRC's factory of the future and show them the art of the possible going forward. We also looked at the sort of data analysts and reskilling our existing colleagues and went into courses for that. And we had also academics come in and second into our business as well, again, showing us the things like the art of the possible for augmented reality, for data science against our maintenance software, etc. So we really started, looking at our people and just getting them to open their eyes and look at other business and take that and bring that back to our business. But digital transformation doesn't have a very good record of success. So whatever foundations we put into place, we need to look at it. So this was some data from a McKinsey report in 2018, where they went out and surveyed some companies that said only 16% of companies saw their digital transformation as a success. And only 7% of those actually saw performance improvements be maintained across this. So it's really difficult to do, and it's really difficult to then make it fix and make it work for you effectively. And smaller organizations, and I don't think there's much surprise, are better than larger organizations at doing this. They tend to be more agile, more reactive. And what we see in digital data is things change very quickly. So when I go back to the business and say, I need to train some people in some digital stuff, and they go, well, what are you training them? What's the course? How's that? So I don't know. I just know in a year's time, with all the other equipment we're putting in and systems we're putting in, we're going to have to train them, but we don't know what that is yet. That's quite difficult for a business like ours to accept. So it's how about we work to get to that high skill ecosystem is what we're looking for, in that high performance work system, where everybody understands the complete supply chain, from the smart factory, from the connected versatile supply chain, because our suppliers need to come into this as well, because if they're still giving us paper, we still need to transfer that, etc. And then those manufacturing operational skills that we need for success going forward. So one of the ways that we're doing this to embed it into our business is basically make very specific project-based teaching. So the Type 31 frigate program is over £1 billion program for 5 frigates. It's causing a lot of investment, as I said, into Rosyth, but we need to train people fully across that. So we're working at the moment with Fife College and the University of Edinburgh, so we can go up from doing continuous professional development, apprenticeships, skills, all the way up to NGDs and PhDs from that point of view. But the project is driving what teaching is required, we need, but then the academic organizations are taking that and making that into structured programs and adding in what we don't know we need yet. So we have people that are skilled and trained, robust for the future. And then other research partnerships that we have across the country, we work very closely with Strathclyde at the Advanced Nuclear Research Centre, and we do a lot of research in robotics with them. We've got the Cranfield relationship as well, so we do a lot of lunch and learns with them internally. We have group and individual MSc projects. We talk about digital twins and analytics very closely with them. So we're focusing in on working with academic organizations where they have skills and benefits to us. And then in the south, to support the operations that we have, particularly down in Devonport, we have very close relationships with Exeter University, Southwest Nuclear Hub, and building them with Plymouth at the moment. So we very much see this as our way of industry saying these are the skills we need, you know, in the short term and the medium term, and the academic organizations delivering that for us and giving us that long-term view as we go forward. So that was very much a view from a business trying to deliver a project and what we need now and the skills that we need to generate that one. And I'm going to hand over now to Michaela, who will talk more about it from our training business that we have and how we affect that digital training onto our person. So I'll stop sharing now and then allow you, Michaela, to share your screen.
I'm going to test my digital skills here, Neil, and try and make this as seamless as possible. Is everyone else's screen?
Perfect. We can see your screen.
Is that coming up clear?
Yep.
Brilliant. Cool.
It is now.
Thank you.
Right, let me just. Okay, just a bit of an intro to me. So currently I work in the land defence training side of things, but also another part of my job is looking at training capability across Babcock, across our group in our different training areas, and looking at how we advance some of our capability to support things like Neil has said. How do we progress and be relevant now in the future? How do we make sustainable training and other exciting things? Historically, I come from an RAF, Royal Air Force background as a communications engineer, and then I moved centrally into mod, working more in a technical training role. And rolling things like training projects out. But I'll move on to the first side of things. So we have training in all four corners of Babcock. That there isn't many environments in engineering where Babcock doesn't provide some kind of training service or a requirement to deliver training to support different types of engineering, from mining in South Africa to emergency services and actual core training, Metropolitan Police. We're all over the place, and especially prevalent in defence, energy, engineering, nuclear, etc. And we've, over the last 5 years, I was trying to think, and I was racking my brains with my colleagues as to when the digital shift really happened. And we think the last 5 years have had the most significant increase in the requirement for those involved in training to really consider the kind of digital era and what it means to us in the training side of things. And because of our role in the way that we deliver training,